Leaders of India's governing BJP have criticized former US President Barack Obama for his recent remarks on Muslims in India. Mr. Obama said in an interview last week that India may start pulling apart if the rights of minorities weren't protected. He was responding to a question on how President Joe Biden should engage with autocratic leaders. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi was in the US on a state visit at the time. Welcome to Slant News. If you want to support, you can subscribe to our channel. Federal Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman expressed her shock at Mr. Obama's comments, stating, when Mr. Modi was campaigning in the US, and by campaigning I mean speaking about India, a former US president was speaking about Indian Muslims. She emphasized India's desire for good relations with the US but expressed frustration with remarks about religious tolerance in India. Mr. Modi's visit to the US was marked by a ceremonial welcome to the White House, a lavish state dinner, and the signing of several crucial deals. He received a warm welcome from business leaders and members of the influential Indian diaspora, including many Silicon Valley CEOs. However, there were also protests against his government, led by the Hindu nationalist BJP, which has faced accusations of insufficiently protecting minorities from violence and discrimination. During the visit, 75 Democrats wrote a letter to President Biden, urging him to raise human rights issues with Mr. Modi. Some representatives, including Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, boycotted Mr. Modi's address to Congress. At a joint press conference with President Biden, Mr. Modi responded to a question about the rights of Muslims and other minorities in India by stating that there was no space for any discrimination under his government. This came after an interview with CNN's Christiane Amanpour, in which Mr. Obama mentioned the protection of the Muslim minority in a majority Hindu India, as a topic worth discussing when President Biden spoke to Mr. Modi. Mr. Obama and the US have not publicly commented on the criticism from Indian leaders. Meanwhile, Mr. Modi tweeted his agreement with President Biden's remarks on the friendship between the two countries. Ms. Sitharaman's comments followed a controversy sparked by a tweet from Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma, who mentioned Hussein Obama, in a response to a journalist's tweet. Some opposition politicians accused Mr. Sarma of issuing a veiled threat to India's Muslim population. However, Mr. Sarma stood by his tweet, stating that he did not intend any harm. Political scientist Ashutosh Varshney commented that Mr. Sarma's tweet, highlighting Mr. Obama's middle name, was an attempt to twist his remarks into ones made by a Muslim, even though the former president does not practice Islam.